Okay, so now let's see the second approach to solve a DP problem, which is basically iterative plus tabulation, and it's a bottom up. It means we solve the smaller problem first and then we use them to solve the bigger problem. Okay, so we create a table basically, so you can see it's a table or 2D array, and the first index is of coins index. So we have 1, 5, 10, 20, and I have one another index for 0. This is for initialization purpose. In some scenario you may or you may not want to use it. The second index is for amount. So for example here this index goes from 0 to the amount value. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So as we know in dynamic problem, we basically solve all sub problems. So here what we want to do, we'll be solving all problems. So for example, I will be finding out how many ways are there to make amount 8 using only coin 1, and this row tells how many ways are there to make amount 8 using coins 1 and 5. So this is our basic structure, and don't worry about it. If sometime and don't worry about it, sometime it takes a bit of practice to know what table structure is needed. But in this our example, we already saw that we were using amount and index. So at each index and for each amount we were trying to find the number of ways we can make coins. So it basically same way we are doing it using second approach, tabulation method. So first step, you decide what table structure you want, then you initialize some value, and based on those initialization then you keep on updating other values. This row you can initialize 0, or else 0 is like self initialized. Let's initialize this first column over here. You know, we can use 1 of 0 coin to make 0. It's like initialization things. It sometimes practically it doesn't make any sense, but you can see to make a 0 from 0 you need 1 0. Means there is one way to make 0 from 1, that is don't include 1. Same way to make 0 amount from a coin 5, there is only one way, it means don't include 5. Same way this is 1, this is 1. So this is our first initialization. So for example, in this cell I will ask question, how many ways are there to make amount 1 using just 1, and how many ways are there to make amount 1 excluding 1. Okay, so let me first tell you about excluding, because that is simple. So if I want to make amount 1 excluding a coin 1, I can simply go to its top cell. In this case, excluding 1 to make 1, we have 0 ways, so 0 plus. Now let's come to including. Including has the same condition. First we need to check whether this coin's value is less than equal to the amount value. So for example, if I am at, so let's suppose I am at this cell, so I want to make amount 1, but the coin values with me are 0, 1 and 5, and currently I am looking at 5. So can I use 5 to make a 1? No, right? Because 5's value is greater than 1. So in this scenario we cannot include it. So that's where for inclusion I always check first whether that coin's value is less than equal to amount. So here coin's value is 1 and is less than equal to 1, so this satisfies the condition. Now I need to find out what value to take for that inclusion. So bear with me, it seems complex but it is pretty simple. So first of all, you have to be in the same row, because now you want to include this coin. So somewhere you need to find out from this row the exclusion value, and what I need to do, the total amount value, which is basically here 1, decrease the current coins value. So 1 minus 1 0, and go to that index. So here the 0th index for this row is this one, and it has value 1. So I will add 0 for exclusion plus 1 for inclusion. And don't worry if you are getting confused, let me solve few more things, then you will easily understand. Okay, let me come here. If I want to create 2 with coin 1 and I don't want to include it, so for example excluding condition, I can simply go at the top cell and I know to make an amount value 2 excluding 1 is this top row, which is basically 0, And now I need to find the inclusion ways. So again, first I will check this coin's value is less than equal to this amount's value. Then I can simply be in this row, and I need to go to the index where I need to subtract this 1 from this 2. So 2 minus 1, basically 1. So this index, so I am here, and here I have value 1. 0 plus 1. So it will be 1. Same way you will do, and you will find out these all are 1. And that also means, that also makes logical sense. So let me just quickly fill it. And let me make it 1 and 1. Okay, so let's come to this cell for an example. So now I have to find out the cell where I need to find out how many ways are there to make amount 1 using coins 1, 5. So first, exclusion condition, because it is very simple. So I can exclude 5. Then I need to just go to top row, and I know to make amount 1 excluding 5, I have this. So I can have 1 plus. And then how many ways are there to include 5 and make amount 1? Those are 0, because I cannot take a coin 5 and make 1, because 5 is greater than this total amount value. So I have to put it 0. Same way I will come here, and it will be 1, it will be 1, and let's fill this one here. So how many ways are there to make amount 4 excluding 5? So I can simply go at the top, because already we have solved this sub problem where how many ways are there to make 4 without having 5, because you remember we are going from bottom to top. So at this position anyway we have not considered coin 5, so we can simply take 1. And how many ways are there to include 5 in this solution? So how many ways are there to make 4 taking coin 5? So again, 5 is greater than 4, so I cannot use 5 coin to make amount 4, so it will be 0. Now here let's fill out this value. So first, how many ways are there to make amount 5 excluding this coin 5? So go at the top row, because we have already solved this sub problem. So 1 plus how many ways are there to make amount 5 including coin 5? So now this 5 is less than equal to 5, so it means I can use this row's value. So I just have to reach at a point where I have already the solution of the sub problem, and where what row will it be? It will be take the current amount value and subtract the coin value. So 5 minus 5, 0. So let's go to 0th index, which is basically 1. So I will add 1 here, so it will become 2. And let's rethink this again, or let's rethink this at this position. Okay, so how many ways are there to make amount 6 excluding coin 5? So if I want to exclude coin 5, I can just look at the top row, which is basically 1, and I can put it here. Now second question, how many ways are there to make amount 6 including 5? So if I want to include 5, I have to see what was the solution for 6 minus 5. So basically index 1. So here I had the answer as 1, so I can put just simply 1 here. If I want to make amount 7 excluding 5, I can simply go at the top row, and I can take that value. And if I want to include 5, right? So if I want to include 5, then it means there should be a place for 5. So I should be able to make 5. So how can I make 5? Then if I subtract from this amount this current value, so 7 minus 5, 2. So 1. If I come here, it will be again exclusion 1 plus inclusion will be current value 8 minus 5. So basically come to third index 1. I want to make a 9 with the coin 1 and 5. So if I want to exclude 5, I need to go to top row, so 1. And if I want to include 5, 9 minus 5, so I will go to fourth index, which is basically 1 here, 1 plus 1, 2. Same way 1 from top, and 10 minus 5 here 2. So these 1 plus 2, it becomes 3. Let me quickly fill all other values. So here I need an integer array, as we already discussed. We can name it as dp, and I am looking for new int array. So here if you see, I want to take row as coins. So coins dot length plus 1. Why plus 1? Because for initialization purpose we are taking this 0th row basically, so it means I now need 5 here. If I have 4 coin, I need 5 row value, so I will just take coins dot length plus 1, amount plus 1, and I am using a different function here now. I will call it as get number of ways. I am passing coins, amount, and our dp integer array. I don't need index over here. Let me write this function. So this is the function structure. Okay, so let's write this function. So it's returning an integer value which will be the like final answer, number of ways to get that amount using those coins, and it will be, so we will update this array. So let's come here. So we will update this dp 2d array, and we have to return the final value. So this final value will be dp of first index is from coins, or probably just use the dp's index. So dp dot length minus 1 and dp dot dp of, so if I want to get jth column, so dp of 0 dot length minus 1. Okay, so now I just have to update this dp value. So let's see here. So for example, first I need to update this row, this column over here. So what is this column? This is the 0th index for each row. So I can simply write a for function for int I equals 0, and I have to loop through complete rows. So dp dot length I plus plus, and we can simply say dp of ij equals 1. So this is first part. So dp of not ij, dp of 0. So all the 0th index for each row. So dp of I of 0 is 1. Now I need to loop through this over here, and as we discussed, we will be looping through this one because this 0 initialization is already being done as part of integer array. So as in Java, whenever we declare an integer array, by default all elements are put as 0. So this, no need to worry about this first 0th row or first 0th row, and we already have done the 0th column for each row. So let me loop int I equals 1, I less than dp dot length, then I plus plus, then again j loop int j equals 1, j less than dp of 0, which will tell us the number of column length, j plus plus. And what I need to do it here, so I come back. So I have to have two condition, including and excluding condition. I need current coins value and current amount. So let me do one thing. So first let me find out what is current amount, just so that you understand this in detail. So current amount, if you see, the jth index is the current amount for us, because we have created a 2D array where the column index we are having values from 0 to amount. So basically if I am at index 2, it means I am trying to find out the value for amount 2. So we can simply say current amount is jth index. And what is current coin? Current coin, example, if I am calculating some values over here for this 1, so because here I can simply see in this row I have written 1, but if I want to get this value programmatically, I cannot say coins of 1, because coins of 1 will return me 5. I need this one. So because we have added one index extra, so I just need to subtract coins of I minus 1. So this will give me current coins value. Okay, so let's first do inclusion, then do exclusion, and here for inclusion I will have always condition if current coins value is less than equals current amount, then only you calculate this include. And let me have this include in this outer place. Let me have include here, and so I can have inclusion. So what I need to do, we have to take in the same row. So if I want to make amount 7 using index using coin 5, I need to go to 7 minus 5, that is this second index, p of I. So inclusion, I have to include, so I will be in the same row, so it will remain I. And what value will be for jth index? As we already discussed, first we are checking if that coins value is less than equal to amount value, then only we are going inside. And if that coins value is less than equal to amount value, so for example here 7 is greater than 5, so coin value is less than equal to this amount value, so I need to go in the same row, that is I will not change, and j I need to take amount minus 5, 7 minus 5, so current amounts minus current coin. Okay, and you can directly get current amount and current coin using dp, and you don't need to create these two variables, but it helps you to know what you are doing here. Okay, so include is done, and exclude is simple, so I can simply have int exclude. And what is exclusion? So we just need to go at the top row. So if I want to make a 1 excluding a coin 1, so I can just go at the top and find out the answer. So for example, if I want to make amount 6 excluding 5, I can just go to amount 6 which I have already calculated using 1, so that is 1. So we need to go at the top, so I will change, so we are going at the top, and j will be same, so we are not changing j. Okay, and at the end just have to update dp of ij, which is basically include plus exclude. And you could have avoided these include exclude variable or even this current amount and current coin, but it's okay to have 4 extra variables just to make your program readable. And at the end anyway I am returning this value, so let me try to run this and we'll see if any error comes. Okay, so I am getting answer 4, and which is basically same what we have done using memoization. And if I want to see its runtime complexity, so let's go. So from main function I'm simply calling this function, and there is no recursion. I'm simply looping through these two variable I and j, and these I and j are dp's row and column, and row is coming from coins, so and column is coming from amount. So the total number of loop will be basically I and j, which is basically number of coins multiplied by the amount. And that's it, nowhere else we are doing any other complex operation. And what is space complexity? Again there is no recursion, so space complexity will only come from because of this dp variable. Again this dp variable is initialized using coins and amount, so we can say it's order of coins dot length multiplied by order of amount. So that's it my friends. So we have seen this table approach, and this table approach is a little bit better in performance using top down, because here we have to have space for recursion. We cannot increase the order of space complexity, because anyway we are going to have a 2D array or some map, and they both will be same most of the time. But again it's an overhead for the program, because it has to now maintain all the recursion tree in its stack. Here it's a bit simpler. Okay, so that's it friends for this video. Let me quickly summarize it. What did we learn? We learned the characteristics of dynamic programming. Basically there are two: optimal substructure and overlapping subproblems, and we have seen one example for both of these characteristics. Then we saw there are two approaches to solve a DP problem. One is top down, which is basically recursion plus memoization based, and second one is bottom up, which is iterative plus tabulation based. And we started with the problem coin change problem. We solved it using a simple recursion, and then we optimized it using top down approach dynamic programming using a lookup array. Then we optimized this further using bottom up approach using iterative plus tabulation. For this problem there is one more optimized solution, and that is again a bottom up approach, where we can modify the initialization DP 2D array to a 1D DP array. I will write that program and I will upload that code to. In the coming weeks I will solve few more important dynamic programming problems. If you like, please like to my video and share it, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.